This video explores how to complete the first Google Earth assignment. But before I talk about the assignment itself, I really just want to introduce you a little bit to Google Earth. Let me reiterate that you should be using Google Earth Pro to complete these assignments. If you use one of the other applications, you likely won't have the same sorts of tools necessary to complete each of the assignments. Google Earth is a basic public access geographic information system. It allows us to visualize the planet, its topography, and satellite imagery that's draped over that topography. Like any GIS system, it works on a principle of having layers of information. These layers can be seen over here. We can click things off and on to see different things. For the most part, in this course, we'll just be using the terrain layers. But you can see you can also click on and off borders and labels, photos, roads, all sorts of different things. I like to keep Google Earth relatively clean and simple when using it for Geography 101. Now, most of you already know how to use Google Earth. You know that you can search for a place by typing it in the place bar. I'm going to search for a place in central Pennsylvania. When you click the search button, it flies you down to that location. You can then turn this off if you want to. In addition to being able to search, you also likely know that you can zoom in and out. Most people are familiar with this because they zoom in and out of their house. Another thing that people might be less likely to know about is the ability to pan. If you click in this compass rose in the upper right-hand corner, you can actually tilt the view of Google Earth. And this allows us to pan around in a number of different ways so that we can see what the area looks like geographically. So these are some of the basic things that we'll be using initially in the Google Earth assignments. Later we'll talk about some other things. Now let's talk a little bit about the assignment. For this assignment, you're to select a place in North America, and you're to talk about how the basic geography of that place is responsible or influences why that place is where it is. I recommend using a city or a town or some place where you can really see how the physical geography impacts this place. In the case of McAlevy's Fort, Pennsylvania, it's a relatively remote town that's sandwiched in amongst the long linear ridges of central Pennsylvania. For this assignment, you are supposed to capture two images of your place. One that's relatively close in, that allows us to see its geographic situation, and then more of a regional shot. Let me capture the close-in image of McAlevy's Fort right now. I am going to go to File, Save, and then Save Image. When you click Save Image, you'll get a number of different things appearing on the screen, including a legend and a place to put a title. Feel free to use those if you want to, but you don't need to. I usually turn off the title and the legend and keep the scale and the compass on. Then you can go ahead and click Save Image. If you save the image someplace like on your desktop, it should be relatively easy to capture a JPEG image, which then you can upload in the assignment. So this is the close-in image that allows us to see the very close-knit geography of this region. We can see rich agricultural areas, but it's also sort of enveloped in mountains as well, which is one of the reasons why this area is small. Now I want to zoom out, so I have to turn the Save Image bar off, and now I can zoom out. And now we can see a broader regional image of central Pennsylvania, and you can see how McAlevy's Fort is really in a large region of mountainous areas, which is one of the reasons why it's relatively isolated. Again, I would save an image of that, and then I would upload that to Blackboard along with the other image and a brief essay that explains how the physical geography of a place has impacted its settlement and development. Most people find the greatest success when they actually look at a small city and try to understand why that small city is located there. And I encourage you to do that, but also consider all of the region theme material. The region theme material will help you to think about all the different possible things that could influence the physical geography of your place. If you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to contact me.